Give me all of it. All of it. Even got the intro. Ready already. Just thinking about it with the walking down. All right. Hello and welcome back to the show. But before I actually get into the show, I have to do a few things first because I'm quite heartbroken, as you might tell. So just bear with me for 1 second.
The fish tank looks better, mate, to be honest.
Fam, I don't know, fam. I'll be honest. Like I know I'm supposed to be professional and host the show and analyze the game, but honestly, I'm heartbroken. I mean, this is probably the first time in 10 years I walked out the lounge just completely defeated. Obviously, I still kept tabs with the game, but like, I don't know, fam. I don't know,
Listen,
fam.
if it's about to get heated, so do hit that like button. Do subscribe if you are new. This is not the kind of show that we promote on the channel, but you know what? It can't all be roses and sunshine. Sometimes you got to look at the coffee and wake up and smell the coffee and call it like it is. And I think what Shoni's trying to say is this is going to be a Mazzolini. It's going to be one of them shows. And if you're a rival fan, sit back with your popcorn and enjoy it, baby. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Because this is the low of the low. This is the bottom of the barrel. I don't even know where to start, boys. I don't even know where to start.
I don't think any of us know where to start, to be honest.
What I will say is, first of all, if you are new by any chance to this channel and you do not understand why football fans are so emotional, it's because we love this club. This is not a response to losing 6-1 to Tottenham, although that was an atrocious performance on the pitch. This is an accumulation of all the pain that this club has caused us over the last 7 years. It goes a lot deeper than performances on the pitch. Performances on the pitch are one thing. You can get over that. You can get over losing 5-1 to a team. It's happened before. I mean, remember MK Dons and all the jokes at school. I'm sorry for mentioning your name if you didn't want to know, but I doubt you're watching the show. But I remember a guy named Declan in our class, our English class, was annoying on that day. And he just wouldn't stop making, what's the time? 4 past United. He just wouldn't stop making jokes. But this time it's worse because this time, and I don't know what you guys think. I want you guys' thoughts on this, right? I want you guys' thoughts on this. But for me, ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left and people laughed at me, and this is not me holding my chest out and being like, I was right. I hate to be right about this, but I said Manchester United wouldn't win titles for at least 10 seasons, right? And then, okay, fine. Moyes gets the job. He gets sacked. He loses 3-1 to Bayern in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Cool. Van Gaal gets the job. Sacked. Okay, cool. Mourinho gets the job. Also gets sacked. And I'm like, hang on a minute. What are we doing here? We're hiring a guy who did well for 3 months. For 3 months. And we're sacking a guy who did well for probably the first 2 years and just did badly for 1 year. What are we doing as a club? I'm like, okay, but let's go on with this vision. Oh, Wan-Bissaka. I've never seen him before. Let's see what this guy does. He goes on and has the perfect 8 months. Doesn't do anything wrong in 8 months. Sterling, get in my pocket. Salah, get in my pocket. Traore, get in my pocket. Everyone, every good right winger you can name in the world, get in my pocket. Okay? Shaw has a good season. Okay. Maguire, £80 million. I get a message from Muloto, and I'll never forget it. I think, in my opinion, he has the potential to be one of the top 15 centre-backs in the world based on what he's done in Leicester City. And I'm like, fair play. You've got the stats to back it up. He's dominant in the air. Let's see what this guy does. He wants to be at the club. He's highly motivated. And look, he even got the captain's armband, so maybe he's a leader. Maybe we've actually got us a actual amazing signing. Okay. Daniel James, that's an odd one, but he's a youngster, so my expectations are low. And I don't expect him to start that much. Little did we know. Martial's going to get injured and your boy Rashford's going to go out with the stress fracture. And all we had was Dan James. Okay. And then, after all the positivity faded and we were down on the low of the low and we lost 2-0 to Burnley at Old Trafford, I started thinking, hang on, man, didn't Fellaini go in the summer? Didn't Herrera go for free in the summer? Didn't we just give Phil Jones a 5-year contract extension? What is going on at this club? And it's come clear to me, right, at this point in time. For the first time, by the way, I was actually positive that summer. For the first time, I was like, you know what? Let me trust the process because the board have actually made 5 decent signings. That's including Bruno Fernandes, by the way, because he hit the ground running and we finished third, right? So this is now after the season. I'm like, let me back the board, We've made 5 good signings. They all want to be here. Yes, Harry Maguire hasn't quite hit the ground running, but he wants to be here and he's not overpriced. Now we need to get rid of Phil Jones. We need to get rid of Rojo. We need to get rid of Pereira. We need to get rid of Lingard because he had an awful season. And we need to get rid of everyone at this club who's classified as deadwood, who either doesn't play or is on extremely overpriced wages for their role. Cool. We get linked to Jadon Sancho. 7th of August, number 7, it's happening. Didn't happen. 11th, maybe he's the number 11. Didn't happen. And then, out of the clear blue sky, we sign Edison Cavani, you know. What is this club doing? Where are we going? Because I feel like we're taking steps back.
Yeah.
And it's not just the 6-1 defeat to Tottenham, but it actually hit me when we signed Edison Cavani. I was like, damn. So this has been the problem. We signed players like Falcao, Di Maria, Alexis Sanchez, Memphis Depay. Look, Memphis, you're a good footballer, and I know you love the game, so I won't count you in this. But those other 3 I just mentioned, mercenary signings, blood. They had no better option. They were just using United as a ride. Number 1, to get to save up for a boat in Marbella, maybe. And number 2, as a stepping stone to go somewhere else, because they all went to better things after Manchester United, as we know. Di Maria went to PSG, recently made a UCL final. He didn't need us anyways. Alexis Sanchez, he's having the time of his life at Inter, you know. It seems like Manchester United have a bad history of signing extremely overpriced players who aren't as good as they were when we started scouting them, who either have a bad injury record or they just have a terrible attitude like Sanchez, right? And then on top of that, instead of moving players on, we extend their contracts because we are so bad. We are so bad at getting value for our players that we have no choice other than to let them go for free or give them contract extensions that make absolutely no sense, just in the hope that somebody would buy them later. But it's a vicious cycle because Phil Jones isn't going to play much over the next 5 years. So if nobody wanted him now, if West Ham didn't want to pay for him now and he didn't want to take a pay cut now, what makes you think he's going to want to do that in the next 5 years? What makes you think in the next 5 years somebody's actually going to want to sign him? And it's like, it's actually scary because we've done the same thing with our goalkeepers. We've got 3 goalkeepers for 1 position. I know that sounds stupid, but think about it. 650 grand a week. 650 grand a week. 2 of them aren't even playing in the league, by the way, because one of them is undroppable. He's world class. So that's effectively 350 grand a week. Plus now we have 3 strikers. One of them came in on loan as a stopgap, but he's not even getting used anymore. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's like in a company, right? If your CEO messes up and he gets into a terrible PR situation, right, for whatever reason, and he goes on leave, or you sack him, right? And then you bring another CEO in on loan, on ridiculous wages, but then you bring someone else in to replace him because he's not good enough to replace the first guy. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It makes no sense. So now we've got 3 strikers, overpriced. By the way, we paid one of their agents £10 million, reportedly. He doesn't even have a club, but we're paying him reportedly the length of Cavani's contract. If you add up the room and the wages plus the agent fees, it costs 30 million. It costs 30 million. If you add up Igalu's wages over a calendar year, that's around like 5 or 6 million. So like that's just under 40 million that we spent on 2 strikers who don't have a future at this club. And people want to go, oh, he's the El Matador, dude. He'll improve us. Improve us. David Brooks will improve us. Issa Sarr will improve us. You're telling me those guys aren't better than Dan James? Traore will improve us. Jovic at Real Madrid would improve us. I don't want to hear he will improve us. It's not a personal attack on Edison Cavani. It's not a personal attack on Di Maria. It's not a personal attack on Falcao. It's not a personal attack on Alexis Sanchez. It's not their fault they got offered 450 grand a week to just come and drive into Carrington and smile at the cameras. Because, you know, those cheesy photos always come out when a player arrives at Carrington. It's not their fault. But it is Manchester United's fault for continuously breaking the wage structure. And for the first time in 7 years, we signed 5 players in a row who were not overpriced, not on ridiculous wages, all fitted the profile. Van der Beek, young, proven at the highest level, looking for the step up to a big club. Bruno Fernandes, proven maybe not at the highest level because, you know, Portuguese league. But he's clearly a baller. He's clearly a baller who is hungry, has the right mindset. Harry Maguire, whatever you think of him today, I know it's controversial, but he's a young player who is proven at the highest level and wants to make the step up to a new club. Same with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Daniel James, he's just an anomaly. Now we've gone back to Edison Cavani. And I hope that we sign Jadon Sancho tomorrow. Because if we bring in someone like Ousmane Dembele, it's done, lads. It's done, It's done. Where are you guys at the moment? Whichever one of you feels like starting.
Like, okay, you can go.
Ready to go first.
I was one of the people who disagreed with you a few years back when you said this club is not going to win anything for 10 years. And I did that under the impression that we were run by people who actually knew what they were doing. In my mind, a club with so much money that makes so much of revenue every single year with the appropriate people in the way the market is nowadays, there's no way this club doesn't make it. But it has become clear.
I'm sorry, but can I just stop you for a second?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But if any of you actually opened your eyes under Fergie, there was multiple summers after the Glazers took over, by the way, where Fergie came out in a press conference and said, I'm happy with the team we've got and there's no value in the market. Just saying.
I feel like
Jose wasn't the first one, Bernal wasn't the first one, and Oli wasn't the first one. Yeah.
I think Jose Mourinho articulated the best, though. I feel like it was hidden behind the glory. We couldn't see what was really going on there. So, 100%. Yeah, I just didn't see it. And I think over the years, it's become clear that these people do not know what they're doing. They do not know that. And I feel like with Ole, when he came in, it was kind of patched up because Ole got involved in the transfers and it looked like we were repairing and we were going in the right direction. But clearly with this Cavani signing, they've been exposed again. And from the fitness department to the recruitment, they just don't know what they're doing. And for me, it's difficult to get mad at the manager. I know people are gonna batter Ole. They're gonna batter him. Like the Ole outros are gonna be loud again. But it's so hard to do that.
Why didn't you make tactical changes after we lost and we went down to 10 men? Why didn't you teach Maguire to header a ball? Oh yeah, it's Ollie's job to teach Maguire how to header a ball. Yeah, that's Ollie's fault. But yeah, go on, Mike.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can do. There really is. I mean, a proper club should have wrapped up the Jadon Sancho signing at the beginning of this transfer window. We've been in for him for so long. You should have wrapped him up. And then said, hang on, at the end of last season, what was the problem? Centre-back, we had an issue. You have more time now to discuss that and say, let's get in a centre-back because it didn't work. But we don't do that as a club. Now Ole is having to play Maguire, and I don't blame Ole. Who is he going to play? This guy is 80 million. This guy is the captain.
They don't want to admit defeat as well.
What is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going to do? Yeah.
They won't sign the centre-back because they don't want to admit defeat as well. Yeah.
So I know we'll all scream, Harry Maguire needs to be dropped. And I guess it needs to happen because he can't keep playing. He can't try to play him out of form. But it's so hard for Ole. When he does, who does he play? The rest is garbage as well.
I think you play Lindelof and Bailey. I think you play Mengi as well. Honestly, it sounds stupid, but I think you play Lindelof and Bailey or Mengi.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think you can try anything and it can't get worse.
Yeah, try anything. That's the problem with Ole. I think people go in on Ole, and even though I think it's misguided and emotional, I think it's justified in a sense that why does Maguire keep playing? Like, yes, I agree with everything you're saying, but I honestly think Mengi's better at this point than all three of them because at least we haven't seen him. Fosu Mensah at centre-back will be, I'll be like, dude, that's messed up, but at least you're trying. And the thing about Maguire now, and Maguire starting, it's not a personal attack on Harry Maguire, like I keep trying to say to people. But you cannot have a player who has bad game after bad game after bad game after bad game after bad game and not drop him and expect the fans to be like, oh, yeah, Oli, we feel your pain, dude. You know you can't drop this guy. No, you have to do something to send a message because what you end up doing is you put yourself in a corner and you shoot yourself in the foot. Because if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just played Mengi against Brighton or against Luton, who would have been mad at him? Against what's that team? Tranmere last season. Why did Maguire play in that game?
Yeah.
Why is Maguire starting in Carabao Cup games against bloody Norwich?
Makes no sense.
Exactly. So yes, in the Premier League, yes, okay, you can't drop him in the Premier League. Sharp. I agree with you because everything's trash, right? But then, how does playing him against Norwich in a Carabao Cup fixture help if the Premier League is so important that you're scared to try Mengi? And that's the problem. That's where I will criticize Oli. And ultimately, it's the board's fault, but that's where I will criticize Oli. That's where the frustration comes from. And I think with Maguire, it's so annoying because he fits the criteria of everything that's wrong with United. He's English. He cost 80 million, and he's a plastic captain. He's just a trophy boy. If we were winning, I don't think I think he like all the problems with him would be ignored. They were ignored. When we finished third, everyone ignored how bad Harry Maguire was. Everyone went in on Lindelof. Everyone went in on Shaw. Everyone went in on Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but not Maguire. No, he's our captain. He's our captain. We need to support him. Look at what happened to him in Greece. Look at what happened to him in Greece. He was just defending his sister. But if Bruno got arrested in Greece, no context.
I guess the logical thing to do is to drop Maguire because he has been the best. He's been the worst in that back line. We've seen Bayern Lindelof before. That was the problem. That's why we bought Maguire. 1, 2. It's very scary. I know Maguire maybe he's the main part of it because he's the captain. He brings it together. But it's very scary when we're in a situation where we're collapsing. How nervous and how much our defense can collapse because we can't say Maguire was the only problem. I mean. After 2-3 goals, they were all doing horrible. The amount of space that was left back there, it was scary.
That's what happens when there's no leadership, though. You can put 11 of the best players in the world in one team, but if there's no leadership and there's no spine, they will fall apart. We've seen this time and time again, you know. I don't want to bring Barcelona into this, but we've seen it with them. I'm not talking about the A2 before you start memeing. I'm talking about the loss to PSG, the 4-0, the loss against Liverpool, you know. I'm talking about the better Barcelona sides that genuinely had talent and fell apart. So, you know, Barcelona was the first team that came to mind. There's other examples out there. I mean, Madrid lost 7-2 to Dortmund on aggregate back in 2012 when I was still in grade 6. But anyways, look, I don't even want... yes, do I want Harry Maguire to get dropped? Yes. Do I want to see Harry Maguire never play for Manchester United again? Yes. But that's irrational. We spent 80 million on him. Fine. Keep him in the team. Why is he captain?
Yeah.
Why is he captain?
Makes no sense.
If Pogba got a, oh my God!
I think you have to.
If De Gea just yells at someone, he gets dropped off the captaincy. But Harry Maguire could burn the bloody pitch and slap De Gea in the face.
Maguire could get arrested in Greece. He could have performances and he still won't get.
And like it's time and time again. You can forgive Ole once, but like over and over and over again, how is that guy your captain? How does in any world that make sense? And you have a guy here who is a leader, who is consistent, but he's not getting the captain armband. I just don't understand that.
Heck, I hope the rumors aren't even true. The rumors about how Oli took him off because he had a go at him and the players. I mean, that's I don't know.
I heard that as well. I hope Bruno did have a go at them. And I know we shouldn't condone violence or anything like this, but I'm happy Martial showed fight today. You know, Lamella, what he did to him.
He didn't do anything
first.
though. I'm sorry.
Lamella started it.
He gently grazed his neck and then he just fell to the ground. I'm sorry. He got elbowed. Literally got straight up. He grazed his neck, basically.
I think that's for the intent,
it's not okay.
For the intent, it's a red card. But then I feel like then Lamella should have gotten a red card.
Yeah, that's the thing. Both should have gotten a red card.
Double red. It's a double.
Yeah. You see, like that's the thing with this club. I don't want to talk about should Maguire be dropped or not. I don't want to talk about should Wan-Bissaka be dropped for Williams. Should we play Foster-Mensah at CDM because Matic had a bad game, or should we play Matic at centre back because we don't have centre backs? We can talk about it. We can talk about the tactics. We can talk about what Ollie does right and what Ollie does wrong. But we've done this before. I've had these conversations before. Mandem like Blind starting under bloody Van Gaal. And making mistakes, eventually to the point where he got sold. I've had this conversation before, man. I've watched teams fall apart under Mourinho, and Mourinho walking off and storming into the dressing room, talking about, Mourinho this, Mourinho that. I've said Mourinho is not a good leader, and I stand by that because when Mourinho's not happy, he doesn't know how to control his emotions, and he doesn't understand the impact his emotions have on his players. And if your players aren't playing for you, you ain't going to win, no matter who you are as a manager. But, like, we've done this before. And for me, it always comes back to one recurring theme. The manager doesn't really get backed in the market, and even when he does, it's like it's almost like so forced now. You know, like I think we're all blind to the financial problems that Manchester United have, and I'm not saying it's an excuse. It's just the reality. It's 100% the Glazers' fault. We should 100% hate them for what they've done to our club, but we should also recognize that we are in a position now where we've ruined our club over the last 7 years. And for the first time, after making a couple of good decisions, we haven't followed up with more good decisions. We've started reverting back to our old ways. And I just don't know where you go from here, because Delo's going out on loan. We're paying half his wages. Pereira's going out on loan to Lazio, I believe, and we're still paying the majority of his wages there. Yeah. Who else is going out on loan?
Smalling should be gone tomorrow, but not on loan.
Yeah, if Smalling goes, well, I don't even know if that's a good bit of business, because he's a good centre-back and we don't have a centre-back, so that doesn't even make sense. Sanchez left on a free, guys. Sanchez left on a free. And with Sanchez, we let it go because his wages were so bad that we're actually happy to let him go for free. But this is now a pattern. We can't get rid of our players because the wages are ridiculous. So I understand people's frustration at the fact that we don't have a centre-back, but your frustration needs to be... You need to find a way to put it all together and channel it at the right areas, because I feel like some people don't understand what this club actually needs. If we went out tomorrow and we got Upamecano for 50 million quid, late, never going to happen, but late buy, and because he didn't want to leave, where to throw him some of this, how does that really help us going forward in the future? Because we still have so much dead wood at the club that we cannot get rid of. How does the cycle of... Because let's just say, for argument's sake, we do buy Upamecano. People don't think about the fact that he could actually fail, just like Maguire did. He could have a mentality problem.
I don't know. I feel like it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk, to be honest.
No, I get it. I knew you were going to say it. I knew you were going to say it's worth the risk. If we spend £50 million on Upamecano this summer, and we don't have money next summer because we haven't sold anyone, we haven't gotten rid of any wages, and now our club is in debt because we keep trying to buy our way out of the situation, it's not going to work. We're relying on dumb luck. We're relying on an outside chance that Upamecano comes in, hits the ground running like Bruno did, and that's not how you fix a football club. Look at what Barcelona did. They sold Vidal. They sold Suarez. You have to sell to buy. Fergie said it. You can't just buy on top of the crap you already have in the club. You need to get rid of it, because for the signings that don't go well, like what's happened with Maguire, people wake up. Wake up. We can't sell Maguire now. We can't sell Jones now. We can't sell Rojo. Where are the Glazers supposed to get the money to afford a new centre-back if they can't sell? Like, they have a budget every season that they have to work with. I know you don't want to hear this. Because we're one of the richest clubs in the world. But one of the richest clubs in the world can only be one of the richest clubs in the world for so long before they start running low on money. Plus COVID. So we've put ourselves in a situation where we really shot ourselves in the foot. We've bought expensive players time and time again, hoping it works out. Di Maria, yeah, he was worth the risk. He just won a Champions League. Alexis Sanchez, 2-year player of the year. He just won 2-year player of the year. It's not like Alexis Sanchez had a horrible season before he came to us. Worth the risk. Bastian Schweinsteiger just won a World Cup. What could go wrong? Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he scored 20 goals, even though he left the season later. He scored 20 goals. It's in the archives. He scored 20 goals.
Look,
but
I hear you.
We get our money back for Zlatan.
I hear you. And I'm not advocating for going out and buying a 30-year-old. No, I think there'll be a bad move and a panic move. But I feel like if the money is there at this moment in time, if the money is available and we can get someone off the mall of Upamecano, I would do it, because I do not want to spend another season in the Europa League and lose revenue on top of it.
What you don't realize is, and this is the emotion of a football fan, what you don't realize is, if you spend £50 million on Upamecano and you end up in the Europa League, the damage is actually worse than if you had just waited and tried to balance out your wage books. The damage is actually worse. If we spend another £100 million this summer and then another £100 million next summer, and we're still in the same situation because we have the wrong manager anyways, and Upamecano's mentality just isn't right when he gets here, and Bruno starts having bad games because we know he can. We literally got knocked out of the semi-final of the Europa League, by the way, for those of you who need a reminder. It takes you back. It sets you back so far. You can't just buy your way out of trouble. And I've been trying to tell this to people for years. Chelsea, the way they do it, it's smart, blood. You don't perform in a Chelsea shirt, you're gone within 3 seasons, Baba. You're not getting a 5-year extension so that you can hang out and be best mates with the bloody physio and drive your pink Lambo in. It doesn't work like that at other clubs. So I get what people are saying. Yes, we do need a centre-back. Yes, we do need a right winger. Yes, Alex Telles is a great deal. But if we're not offloading, it doesn't balance the books. We're not making a profit as a football club on the field. If we are not getting the value out of the crap we already have at the club. And that's the problem. It's the same with Arsenal. Arsenal has spent so much money on players like Ozil and they've just flopped. Nicola Pepe. can't go spend 70 million on another Nicola Pepe. You know why? Because they used the 70 million they had on Nicola Pepe and it hasn't worked out. And on top of that, they haven't sold the crap at their club. Learn from Arsenal. Like we need a complete rebuild. We need 3 or 4 years where we just aren't relevant in the top 4. And we actually start to move on the dead wood out of this club, even if it means underselling or selling for prices that don't make sense.
Like
Even
Barca.
if it means letting people go for free. Because I tell you what, now that Sanchez is gone, actually it doesn't matter because we've gone and signed Cavani anyways. But if we had let Sanchez go, we let Sanchez go, that's 450 grand a week freed up, that's 17 million a year saved, right? That would have helped us so much if we had actually taken advantage of that. But no, we haven't. You know why? Because we've signed another 33-year-old Don, hoping that he'll just come and hit the ground running. And it's a childish mentality. It's a childish mentality. And the manager doesn't want him on top of that. The manager doesn't want him. So I get the frustration at Harry Maguire, but at the end of the day, what must Ed Woodward do? Harry Maguire wanted, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted Harry Maguire. He got him Harry Maguire. It didn't work out. Now Ed Woodward is in a position where, first of all, it's a position that he put himself in, I admit, but he has to sell players and he can't do it. You know why? Because nobody wants Marcus Rojo on those wages. Nobody wants Phil Jones on those wages. Nobody wants, even Chris Smalling, actually. Roma didn't want to pay for Smalling, by the way. We're going to undersell for Smalling because Roma are like, mate, we're not giving you the money. So it's either you sell him or you keep him. But we're not giving you the money because we don't have it. And United are going to go, okay, go on then, take him because we don't want an unhappy player at our club. And it's just, we've ruined it. And I don't know where to go from here other than get the Jadon Sancho deal over the line because he actually wants to be here and the manager wants him, and it's a good sign that will impact Manchester United more positively over the next 3 or 4 years. His consistency and his statistics, for me, make it worth the risk because unlike every other right winger we've signed, he's actually someone that you can bet your money on who's going to hit the ground running. Everybody else has been question marks. Oh, I don't know about his attitude. Oh, I don't know about his injury problem. Oh, I don't know about this. And I'm not saying Upamecano is no different, by the way. Upamecano is a fantastic centre-back, but it's just, you got to look at what the club wants to do, what the club has to do, and the positives of what they're doing, if there are any positives, and then take it from there. You can't just live in this world where you only focus on what you would do in that situation because that's not realistic. We would have never hired David Moyes if we were in charge of the club. Like, are you mad, blood? None of us would have hired David Moyes. Most of us wouldn't have taken Louis van Gaal because most of us didn't know who the hell he was. So, you can't just focus on what you want and guide that anger at the club. You need to look at what the club has done right and give credit where it's due. And that's why I keep saying we've actually done something right in the last year. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, brilliant. Bruno Fernandes, amazing. 45 million pounds for that player, and he's getting paid less than Phil Jones. Amazing. We need to continue going down that road. Yes, it would be nice to sign a centre-back, but we also need a right winger. And we need to keep going down that road. We cannot sign players like Cavani, man. I'm sorry. It's just, it doesn't help the team long term. And the worst thing about Maguire is because of his price tag, he can't even get dropped.
Ridiculous.
Because we're just like Arsenal. We're just going to have a player sitting at home playing PlayStation.
I don't want to take it here, but I know the fan base will, so I'll bring it up. Is there any way Ole doesn't survive this? And if he doesn't, does Pochettino improve that back line anyway?
You mean from this game today, or do you mean this season? From this game today, I think he survives. But this season, if Sancho doesn't come tomorrow, and this is the current squad he has, like I've always said, like I'm not like it's not even about my opinion where I think Oli is good enough or not good enough anymore. It's whatever's at top have hanged him out to dry. Will hang every other next manager out to dry until they've gone. Yeah. So
okay, but
Oli will end up being fired this season if the things don't change.
Directed to you specifically, Shani, you've said you'd consider Pochettino in. Does Pochettino improve our defense in any way? Does he coming in change what's going on at the club?
If he does, it'll be like a minute change. It won't be like all of a sudden we're going to be the best defense in the league.
Yeah, Rita, can I ask you this honestly, right? As a fan of Pochettino, are you telling me Pochettino finishes higher than third last season?
No, I don't think so. Because I have been saying Ole in. And my argument for that is, yes, there is the chance where maybe Pochettino is better than Ole. But I feel like no one can succeed at this club because of the management, the writing of the club.
That's my point exactly. So yeah, I'm sorry to take away the spotlight from Shawnee there, but I agree with everything Shawnee has said. And I think Poch would improve this defense. I think Poch would improve this defense. I think Poch would improve this team. But again, we're not thinking as football fans. We're not thinking. Why do you want someone who will improve you just a little bit? Don't you want to go back to winning titles? Why do you want to sign Aaron Brooks because he's a little bit better than Dan James? How does that help you long term? Does Darren Brooks close the gap between you and Liverpool? And so if Poch doesn't finish higher than third, why are we getting Poch? If you think Poch doesn't finish higher than third last season and he doesn't catch up to Man City and doesn't turn McTominay into a world-class ceiling, why are we having this conversation? Because it's about what helps us go forward. And I tell you what, to all the Ollie haters, I agree his tactics aren't great. I agree he makes some questionable decisions. But in a club like this in turmoil, where there's owners who don't care about the club as much as they should and have entrusted certain decisions with wrong people, Matt Judge, who doesn't answer his phone after a certain time in the evening, apparently. Ed Woodward, who's playing the best game of Football Manager in his life, at the expense of our mental health. You need someone like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer who will protect the image of the club and not going in on the board. You need someone on the inside who loves this club as much as we do. Like, it's not about the fact that he's an ex-legend. It's about the fact that he genuinely wants to fix this club. He won't come out and do what Jose did. Yeah, Jose Mourinho's great. Yeah, because he stood up to the club. Where did it lead us? Did Jose help us in any way? Did that Europa League help us in any way? Did finishing second help us? Who even remembers Manchester United finishing second? I don't. I don't care about it. I'm not celebrating it. It hasn't helped our team in any way. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to learn how to look at things, the long-term impact of things versus the short-term impact. Upamecano improves our defense immediately. But does Upamecano fix our club long-term? Not unless we get rid of the deadwood. Because if we sign Upamecano now, you can forget about signings next summer. You can forget. And God forbid he gets injured. It's done. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we're in a situation where our success and failure is literally on the
But
cusp
one can say we're signing Upamecano next summer anyway. You know? That's the signing we're going to make.
We're not. Where's the proof?
I'm saying, in terms of what we need, if we sign him now or if we don't sign him now, and you say we can forget about signings anyway, it's fine because we signed in the position that we need to fix it anyway.
No, but if we sign him next and we've moved players on this summer, that makes more sense. If we sign him this summer and we haven't moved anyone yet, that doesn't make any sense. You need to sell first before you buy. You can't buy and then say, "Oh, we're going to sell it." How do you know you're going to sell? You haven't done it for 7 years.
No,
Phil Jones is still here. Am I confused?
What I'm saying is our current problem is centre back. So if we don't sign now, next summer we're signing a centre back. So if we sign him now, it's not okay if we don't sign next summer. So it's okay if we're not going to sign it.
No, it's not. It's not, because if here's what you guys aren't thinking about. In the scenario that Upamecano doesn't work, which there's a high chance, by the way, because we have a tendency of ruining players' careers. We do. I don't need to talk about Harry Maguire. I can go deep into the archives of the players we've ruined, careers we've ruined at Manchester United. So if you honestly think Upamecano has 100% guaranteed chance of hitting the ground running, you're an idiot in my opinion, when you're being too emotional. If Upamecano comes in and fails, it does more damage to our team long term than if we just wait. This whole "it's better than nothing" mentality doesn't make sense. If we sign Aaron Brooks, Issa Sarr, or anyone who goes onto our bench, and then they don't work out, it damages us long term more than it does wait and get rid of the deadwood.
Can I ask this? If we're okay with there not being signings next summer, let's pick a scenario like that. Where we're okay with not being signings next summer because we got the centre back. What are we actually waiting for? Are we waiting to scout a centre back better because we think it's too short notice?
No.
Is that what we're waiting for?
No, we're waiting to get rid of the deadwood inside our club, Rita. If Upamecano comes this summer... I know.
And I thought, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought you said if we don't get rid of the deadwood, the consequence, if you did say this, the consequence that we don't sign next summer. And I'm saying, cool, it's fine because we got the centre back. So what are we actually waiting for then? Do you get what I mean?
Oh, I kind of get what you mean, but if we get the centre back, right? If Manchester United were genuinely in for a centre back and we didn't sign Jadon Sancho, right? And we got a centre back this summer, plus the centre back we got last summer, right? Right. Let's just say Upamecano comes in, right? Cool, we don't have to wait for anything. But why are you wasting 80 grand a week on Phil Jones, 80 grand a week on Marcus Rojo, and now 80 grand a week on Harry Maguire, by the way, plus the 85 million you lost for him in the summer, right? You got Upamecano, great. You're getting more clean sheets, great. You're getting more clean sheets. What about Eric Bailly, Twanzebe, Marcus Rojo, Phil Jones, Harry Maguire, and for argument's sake, Lindelof, because let's just say he gets injured? How are those wages helping you long term?
They're not, but then we fix the problem. Like, I know with us it's extreme, but you can say with Man City it's the same thing as well, because they keep selling centre backs, and there's Otamendi.
It's not, because Man City are in a position where they can take risks like that and still have money beyond the next 3 or 4 seasons, because they're in a better, first of all, they're in a better position financially, they're in a better position in terms of success, and third of all, they can sell their players if they need to. If they need to raise money to improve their net spend in the summer, they can. It's not the same with Manchester United. Every player we buy, if they don't turn out to be a success, they become deadwood. They become deadwood because nobody else wants them. You know why? Because our wage structure is so broken that everyone who comes to this club is like, why are you only paying me 80k a week when you've got a goalkeeper on 350 grand a week? Paul Pogba, he looks like he has a nice salary. If I'm starting, why don't I get paid as much as him? And you know what that does? And watch when Cavani signs, by the way. You laugh at his wages because his bonuses are ridiculous, but his wages will be even more hilarious. The wage structure of Manchester United cannot be compared to Manchester City and Liverpool. Manchester City and Liverpool are well-run clubs that don't overpay players who don't want to come and damage their wage structure 7 years in advance. It's not the same thing. They do not have to overpay. If Pep Guardiola says, I want you at my club, my boy, you're running because you're more than likely going to win a Premier League in less than 3 years. Kevin De Bruyne isn't on ridiculous wages. Otamendi isn't on ridiculous wages. Their left back isn't on ridiculous wages. Their right back isn't on ridiculous wages. Their centre backs, none of their goalkeepers are on ridiculous wages. I tell you who is on ridiculous wages and who is the highest wage bill in England, by the way, Manchester United, and that's the problem. It's not the same. Football fans don't understand the financial impact of the bad signings we've made. Di Maria wasn't just a bad signing on the field. He actually contributed to our wage structure. Bastian Schweinsteiger actually contributed to our wage structure. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who was a free player, by the way, got paid, correct me if I'm wrong, but he got paid upwards of 200 grand a week. Free player. You can't convince a player to come to your club for free without offering him 200 grand a week. So that's the thing. If we do sign Upamecano, it will be great to paper over the crabs. But does Upamecano get us into second? No, he doesn't. So why are we spending 100 million? Because if you add up his wages over 3-year contract, 4-year contract, whatever it is, plus the fee you bought him for, and then you add up all the money that you're spending on Deadwood, is that worth the extra clean sheet you're getting out of him? Long term. No, it isn't. And that's the thing with Manchester United. We need to sell. I'm not saying Upamecano is a bad signing. I'm not saying Cavani inherently is a bad signing. If Liverpool signed Cavani, that would have been great. Imagine at the Champions League final when Liverpool are 0-0 and they bring Cavani on for Firmino because Firmino comes off with the hammy. That's a great player to bring off the bench. You think Gareth Bale isn't good for Spurs? It's great, but it wouldn't be good for Manchester United because the wage structure, blood. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but it's so important.
I hear you. In context of our club, I hear you. I want to ask Clay, though, because to go back to the whole defense thing and the posh thing, you've said, I don't know if you said off air or on there, but you said that you feel like these players are not showing what they're really capable of, and there's more in the tank for them. So what do you think in terms of a new manager coming to improve the backline?
Yeah. I agree with Marcus a lot with this. I just think there's an overarching issue with the club in general, and it's genuinely from the top. We're not selling any of the deadwood, you're very right, and it should be something we're prioritizing. And it never just feels like it never is a priority. If we need funds, why don't we make funds available by selling players? That's just how a club should be run. You're right, we're not run well. And if a new manager comes in, then the process is just going to start all over again, and it's just a headache again. We're going to get back in the Champions League after bad Europa League season, and the cycle. Every United fan's like to see it. The cycle's there.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Clay. What if Poch wants game?
Yeah.
Then Martial has to get sold. But if you know in United, he probably wouldn't even get sold, and we miss out on 50+ million that we could have made selling Martial, and now he's going to be a bench warmer that's never going to play if Poch comes, for example. And it's a very frustrating situation because that's going to be the reality of it. We're going to lose one of the star players for us at this moment to just be sitting on high wages on the bench. And it starts at the top, and that's where our issue is right now overall. I don't think that the issue should lie with Oli, especially for this game and a lot of the other games. He has a lot that he didn't have control over. A lot of individual areas were at fault. It wasn't exactly him. He doesn't deserve the sack right now. There's nothing that says he deserves the sack. Maguire deserves the sack after this performances, but Oli doesn't. So a new manager coming in and suddenly fixing the back line, I don't see it even happening, in all honesty. We have the depth in that position. They're just all shit in that depth of the position. So is it really even depth? That's also the tough thing. If we have Deadwood, just ship them out. Stop giving them 5-year contracts. Yeah, just ship them out. That's what we need to be doing. We need to aim to actually make money as a football club and not as a business. We're making a lot of money of commercials. We're making a lot of money of partnerships. We're making zero money as an actual club partaking, as actually being a club. We're not transferring our players. Smolens's been our biggest transfer outs in how long? This is ridiculous.
And you know what's going to piss me off?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and you know what pisses me off, Blood? To all the people saying, if we don't get Sancho, it's not a bad thing, because that's money we could use next summer. You're playing yourself. Where do you think that money's going? Where do you think the money that we're supposed to use in Jadon Sancho is going? It's not going to next year's budget, bro. It's going to these bloody vampires, Blood. That's the thing. That's why we need Sancho. That's what people don't understand. I get it. Sancho is not a centre-back. I get it. But Sancho is a good signing because he pushes Greenwood to the bench. We don't need to buy a attacker for the next 3 seasons, Blood, if we get Sancho. We don't have to worry. We don't have to ever talk about the front three ever again if we sign Jadon Sancho, because that problem's solved. There's no Deadwood in the front three. Igalo's leaving. Igalo's leaving in January. There's no Deadwood. Maybe Dan James, but is that really Deadwood because it was only 15 million? So we fix the wage problem in the three if we get Jadon Sancho. If we don't get Jadon Sancho...
I dare these men. After this performance, I dare these men to not get Jadon Sancho tomorrow.
We're not using centre-back next summer. Like, that's the thing. That's the reality. We should use it on a centre-back. We should say, you know what, signing Sancho's not that smart. Let's hold this money and look for a centre-back. Let's spend 12 months looking for a centre-back. And no matter what happens, we won't sack our manager. We're just going to look for Mr. Maguire. That's what a real club would do, and then still sell people in this. But no, not Manchester United. When we don't sign players, we don't use that money in the future. What are you talking about? Have you seen how much money the Glazers have pulled out of this club? So, and Cavani, you're telling me that was a part of the plan? No, it wasn't. Because the Sancho deal fell through, and it's been taking so long, and the fan base is so upset. They just went for another desperate last-ditch signing, and that's what this club will keep doing. And that's why I'm by Sancho, because for once, Woodward was doing something right. For once. And I'm just trying to give him a kick in the backside, even though Woodward probably doesn't listen to me. But, you know, I'm a fan, and I can only use my voice. Just get the Sancho deal over the line. And then we'll talk about a centre-back when that's done. But we ain't getting a centre-back if we ain't getting Sancho. That's the thing. And it's just, mate.
What we really need is,
for 8 months.
What we need is like a hired assassin.
It's not like he didn't have the time.
I'm telling you.
So that's the problem.
Just finish them.
We need a hired assassin. Take out the Glazers. Take out the Wood.
What are you guys saying? Right off the season?
Fam.
No, I don't think we should, but it's been a poor start. I still don't think that's where it lies. I don't think we just go, the season counts as nothing. I still see we should have ambition moving forward for the rest of the season. But I just don't know how volatile I don't know
like,
how that, it's just a situation. Yeah,
I'm at hope, but I just don't know anymore what that defensive line can achieve. I don't anymore. I'm seeing it clearly now that playing deeper did to protect them. Now I'm just so worried. Like, if we can concede so much against Spurs, then what's gonna happen? What's
gonna happen when we play PSG soon in like 3 weeks time?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We won't even have Martial. I don't think we'll have even Martial for the PSG game.
Yeah.
So it's just a freaking mess. And like I said, nothing will ever change at this football club unless things happen from the top. And I think Marcus just got disconnected. But just going back to the game today, because I think we haven't even really spoken about the game today.
I think it's just general frustrations coming out so much with this result. It just brings it out even more.
This result was very symbolic.
Well, like even with the whole
Yeah.
Oli thing, like obviously Oli gets some of the blame today because that, like just bringing Bruno off at halftime. Like, what are you doing? You brought Bruno and Matic off for Scott and Fred. Like, oh my
Yeah, it
goodness.
was terrible.
In a
But
way,
like,
It was terrible.
I can see it in a way because they're more aggressive, and that's what we needed. Because that midfield line was bullying us by what's it called again? By Tottenham. But the Bruno one doesn't make sense because why?
Yeah.
Pogba has been making more mistakes. Pogba is horrible defensively. Sometimes I think Bruno is even better defensively. So yeah, it was very sketchy.
it's proper stuff.
My thing with that is that we literally just sat down and said, okay, we're done. We're done. We're not going to push forward anymore. This is it for us. That's what it felt like at halftime when those subs came on. It was genuinely just going, I give up, I concede, I'm not fighting anymore. And that's the only criticism I have about Ali for this game is just his poor subs at halftime. Only issue. Otherwise, it was out of his control fully.
And it's not even like I said, like let's just say it won't happen. Oh, actually, it might happen. But let's just say if Oli did have to get fired, a new manager comes in, Poch, Bielsa, your favorite manager, whoever your favorite manager in the world is, came in. Yeah, obviously there could be some improvements, but I said it. I think I said it sometime last season. I said I would love Oli to get fired, Poch to come in, and he was the guy getting backed. But I've seen it with Oli. That won't happen. The board won't back any manager. It's gonna happen. I would love I would love Bielsa to manage United, and he's the manager who gets back long term, but it's never gonna happen. So I've just given up all hope until something.
And also, can I just say to all the people who think that there's a manager out there who will come in and make magic, why did Man City finish third in the first season with Pep?
Yeah, doesn't matter who you are. You need the players.
Yeah.
You need the ammunition.
Even Pep this season. Look how Pep is doing this season. Also, it's late.
Yeah, by just losing two players who fit to the system.
Yeah. So like, are you telling me that Pep, in the one case where he finished third, that wasn't Pep's fault? Those players just genuinely weren't good enough. But if he came to United, all of a sudden he'd be able to get the best out of these players. It's just Oli's fault. It's just Mourinho's fault. I'm not buying it because some of the players in this team won a Europa League under Mourinho, and then the very next season nearly finished 14th. It wasn't for that 3-month run. It's the same bloody pattern, mate. It's the same bloody pattern, mate. And all the criticism for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is hilarious because nobody had the kahunas to do it when we were 20 games unbeaten. Oh yeah, nobody was questioning the tactics then. The football was beautiful. We were scoring goals, but now people have come out of their shadows and started criticizing Ole. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it, but I think it's misguided. Rather, I should say. This club, it's going to ruin.
Yeah, I get why people are like, Oli out, bring Poch in or whatever. Yeah, Poch will come in. Sure, there'll be a boost. They'll be tactically way better. We'll win more games. We'll get like third this season, maybe second. But then next season comes, we want to win the league. We want to win Champions League. Poch is there, like, okay, I want upper mid-count. And they're there, like...
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Like, I love the Poch.
We're not going to give you upper mid-count. And then you'll be like, okay, can I have, let's say, Harry Kane? No, we're not going to give you Harry Kane. Oh, okay. So, and then Poch is stuck with the same head.
Knowing United, they would give him upper mid-count, and they would give him Harry Kane, but they would overspend for them. And then if they flopped, they'd be like, we gave you Harry Kane last summer. What's wrong with you? We gave you Harry Kane last summer.
Like, imagine Oli going now to the board and be like, I need a centre back. And they're like, we just spent 18 million on a centre back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, for all the stick we gave this board, they got him, Harry. He wanted Harry Maguire. You can't blame Ed Woodward for Harry Maguire's performance. I'm sorry. You can't blame Ed Woodward for Harry Maguire's performance, bro. These guys have people to answer to. I know people don't want to hear it. But it's not only us. There are other clubs that have done this, that have overspent for a player, and then in the next summer, they can't replace in that position because they've thrown all their eggs in that player. If we bought Jadon Sancho and he flopped, we ain't getting another right winger for a very long time. You want proof?
Yeah.
Di Maria.
No, especially at the price we're going to pay.
Yeah, you want proof? Di Maria. How long did it take us to replace him with Sanchez? You want proof? Memphis Depay. How long did it take us to replace him?
And the shy thing is about us is
that also Valencia.
Okay, I clicked and go.
Okay, sure. The terrible thing about this is that I think it comes down to our recruitment team, and it's just been proven shit season in, season out, that they just have no ambition. They have no clue what they're looking for in players. Edward just goes, hey, this fridge could be good the next season. Can we look into him a little bit? Yeah, he plays for Leicester. Okay, cool. Well, 80 million. Let's go. That feels like that's the extent of our recruitment. We don't ever in depth look at a player and just go, is he actually a right fit? Will this player work for us? Is he financially viable for us? A lot of these factors we just don't think about. We're just like, big money, give us. We'll make headlines. We'll make a bit of money
You're
off
right,
of it.
you're right.
That's it. That's it.
You're right, but that's the thing, though. Bruno Fernandes was a magnificent signing. This board is not this board. The recruitment has proven that they know how to do their job. It's just
Yeah.
about consistently following the
It's-
pattern. Bruno
yeah.
I
Fernandes,
feel like
revelation. Van de
if you
Beek.
don't do, if you don't
The
do
message is to the fans,
consistently,
oh.
struggle. Yeah, I feel like if you don't do it consistently, you struggle to get the credit for it, really. So
Yes, and the thing is also, can I just say, with regards to Harry Maguire, that's not a problem with recruitment. Harry Maguire was a good player at Leicester City. It just didn't work
No,
out.
it's
Like I'm
just
saying.
an example, obviously.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm not
I feel like-
attacking you. I'm not attacking you. I just want to make a point, right?
Yeah.
Harry
No,
Maguire
I'm just
just
not
went
attacking
south, right?
Maguire. Just
Right? But
Mm.
why then do people not recognize that clearly the bigger problem is not just our recruitment? Clearly the bigger problem is the fact that when we do buy players and they do fail and they were genuinely good signings that made sense, like Memphis, that was a good risk, we can never recover from it for some reason. It's like, we failed,
it's-
now it's over.
I think to some
Our
of that,
players
just a lack.
have no sell-on value ever. Like even if you have to think now, if you have
Yeah.
to sell Maguire right now, how much
That's
can you
true.
sell for?
That's true.
Nobody's paying 80 for that.
Exactly.
That's a joke.
No, we're not
That's a
getting our
joke.
money
Not
back.
even 40.
Paul Pogba,
Not
you know,
even
if you sold him back then before he got injured this last season, 150
No.
million. Real Madrid, you think Real Madrid can pay 150
No.
million now? Not a chance.
And
Is Marcus frozen again?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so, unfortunately.
For me, I feel like, for me to sum it up, I just feel like it's a lack of a football plan. There's no football plan. It's like they're willing to spend here and there to paper the cracks so it looks like there's a football plan, so the club can function and move forward. But at the end of the day, they're not looking to make progress into the football. For them, the progress is about the money, and the football side has to at least be functional so that they can make that money. So, when who that lies on, I don't know. Is it from the top? Is it the leadership from the top?
It's
Is it
the top.
people under
Everything.
them? Yeah.
It's
I
the
think
fucking
Top
Jesus.
to Ali, it needs a restructure. It needs a
Yeah.
full restructure.
I feel like maybe the
club
problem
needs a
is
full
more in
restructure.
And
people
yeah, and you know,
inside.
even with the club coming out, then you know they think fans they don't know what to talk about. You know, we just what's the word I'm looking for? Let's just say crazy because I couldn't think of the word that starts with an R. But yeah, radical. That's what I say. Fans are radical. You know, we're emotional, whatever. But if you think about it, we know more than them. That's not an insult. We know more than them. We wanted Bruno Fernandes, successful signing. We wanted Van de Beek. He looks like a successful signing. So you know, when fans listen, when fans tell you something, you should listen. Like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I wanted him. Obviously, the fans did like him. You know, I know his form's dropped off a lot recently. But then also, I feel like why is he always here? Why is he with the centre backs? He's not on the right back anymore. It always looks like he's helping the centre back out, and the wide players on the opposition field are open. Harry Maguire, we didn't want him as fans. If you asked us last season before we put Harry Maguire, who was the centre back we all wanted, we would have said Koulibaly. Why didn't we get Koulibaly? The board didn't want to give us the extra 15 months. So for me,
Yeah, but I
everything.
feel like
it's
some
back
might
to
have
the
said
top.
they want Harry Maguire,
Nah.
but that's an example of them just trying to paper the cracks. It really is.
Okay, but
Because
I'll
at
ask
the
you
end
this
of the
question.
day,
If
we know-
before we got Harry Maguire, and you asked the majority of United fans, Harry Maguire or Koulibaly,
Koulibaly, including
Exactly.
me, I live in Koulibaly.
Koulibaly, 100%.
He's the better fit, yeah.
I
But
think we
feel
can
like,
look at what's happening now as well.
yeah, at the end of the
Sorry,
day,
finish first. Okay.
that's fine. At the end of the day, this is papering cracks, and I feel like I don't know anymore. I feel like it's a bit hard. Yes, it is the Glazers' fault because they own the club. But at the end of the day, I feel like the Glazers are the type of owners who have just bought this club, and they don't really have a passion about football, and you can't expect them to get involved in the football deals. So they're running the club from afar, and it's their asset. At the end of the day, the people they're paying to run this club are not good enough, and
exactly.
it
But
has
then
to-
still, who employed them? The Glazers. Why didn't they
Yeah.
get fired?
That's the
They're
problem.
not firing. Are the Glazers firing Ed Woodward? They're not firing Ed Woodward. Are the Glazers firing Matt Judge? They're not going to fire Matt Judge. So at the end of the day, if someone kills the Glazers, by all means, feel free, murder them. Hide assassination. Please, we need new ownership. We need new structure. I remember Patrice said in his one of his Monday videos that there is like one Glazer, and there is some people who have love for this club. It's just the people who they trust, like Maloto says, the people who they hire who basically lie. It's like imagine we're the owners, obviously we have big deals. United is just a business for us, and then the people we employ, they said, nah, everything's good. Everything's good now. Yeah, we've got Harry Maguire, 80 million. 80 million, yeah, but he's a good defender. But meanwhile, the Glazers don't know what's going on. Yeah, they have no idea that we are losing every week. How the fans are feeling, I don't think they even care. So we don't have football owners at the end of the day. We just have blood sucking leeches.
Yeah,
So,
and I feel like maybe this is like an outside point, but I feel like at the same time, as much as it is the club, you feel like the USA is so closed off to the rest of the world that
yeah.
maybe it is a bit difficult for them to keep up to date on exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and there's evidence. There's evidence of whatever
I don't think that's
American
fair,
football
though.
team. Yeah, but to relate it to the Glazers, the American football teams that they own, the fans that of those American football teams said the Glazers did the same thing with them. They just
Really?
bought them, they sucked them dry, and then sold. And I'm afraid Manchester United, the club we know and love. I hate to say this word, but I honestly feel like it's done. I've always had a little bit of hope whether we get Sancho tomorrow or everything. I think the impact is done, and we won't get to where we want to be anytime soon. Especially under this owner. With these Glazers, we are never winning a Premier League title. We are never winning a Champions League. We might win a cup here and there, but that's it. And that's just where we are now. We are not the great Manchester United, Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United. David Gill, Manchester United. We are finished. I mean, we've seen Patrice Evra and Gary Neville crying on Sky Sports today. Imagine that. Legends of our club crying on live television. Patrice Evra saying things like, "I don't care if you ruin my Sky contract, but I'm gonna swear, and I know you guys got little machines, and I'm gonna speak how I feel." Man, this is what's come. And yeah, the Spurs game is horrible. It's just it's the salt on the wounds, but it's not like it hasn't been coming. Nothing has been good at the moment. Nothing. Alex Telles, I've seen Fabrizio tweet now. He's already in Manchester. He landed in Manchester. I could imagine he definitely landed in Manchester. They definitely need something positive to spin it, and that he'll be announced tomorrow. Cavani will probably definitely get over the line now, but again, it's just a mess. Papering over the cracks, repeat. Papering over the cracks, repeat. And now today was just bad. It was bad. Now we won't have Martial for 3 games. It hasn't even hit us yet. When Martial's not, our best striker is not going to play for us for 3 games. I don't even know if its suspension can get lifted or anything. Luke Shaw could have got a red. That incident with Luke Shaw today should have been a red as well.
Yeah, he was
So imagine, Alex Telles is going to come in now, but we wouldn't have had Luke Shaw. What happens with Maguire now? Could you imagine the uproar if Oli keeps him in the team and still is captain? Or could you imagine Oli dropping Maguire, bringing in Mengi, and then we still concede 5 and 6 to Chelsea, and then another loss? We don't have easy games even to come where we can, maybe get some momentum back. Our next fixtures after international break is hectic. We are in for a long ride. And like I said, Jadon Sancho is going to come. We can definitely play very well. But defensively, it's just, we are not good enough.
Scary. Is this game even worth a player ratings? Does it even deserve that?
Yeah,
Probably not.
It doesn't deserve it. And definitely, if anyone's listening to the show and you waited 58 minutes just for the player ratings, fair play. We'll give it to you. And we can also discuss a bit more of the game. Obviously, let's just get quick thoughts on the game. What are your initial thoughts? Obviously, Bruno got the pen. Martial looked amazing. 30 seconds of great. I think, honestly, I can honestly say we didn't play badly in the first half, until the heads was gone and Maguire made these 2 horrible mistakes. Going forward, we looked like we were going to score a lot of goals today, but just a mess.
Yeah. Clay, do you want to go first, though?
No, it's fine. You can go. You can start.
What is there to say? I think going forward, we looked okay. We looked good, actually, for the first few minutes, but at the back, it's also Harry Maguire, and most of the blame has to go to him. We can't hide that. But it wasn't just him. Bailly had his moments, but he's also had moments where he just looked horrible. The defensive line just looked 6s and 7s. And obviously, when you came 1, 2, 3, the morale of the club, the red card as well, even the front line started playing poorly. So all round was just a poor showing. Into the Spurs, I don't like to talk them out because they beat us 6-1, but they looked absolutely amazing. They looked well drilled. That midfield was very aggressive and ferocious. And for a Jose Mourinho team, a person who has been criticized for not playing good attacking football, the way they were moving the ball, the way they were creating chances, the counter attack, it was really amazing. So kudos to them, I guess.
Clayton?
Yeah, definitely. I think we just looked really good at the beginning of the game. We came in with momentum. We came in wanting to win. We came in trying to prove a point. You could see that along all the fit players. You could see everybody was here to win it to start off the game. And then we score a pen. It's just smiles all around. We're looking fantastic. Martial's looking like he's going to find his form this game. Rash looks like he's going to get a goal. Green
Martial
looks like
looked
he's going
like
to get a
he was gonna
goal.
get a goal, yeah. All of our front three looked
It
like
looked
they were gonna get a goal.
fantastic. Yeah, our front three looked fantastic. Our midfield looked like it was thinking, I'll play well. And then something
Really
just
looked good.
clicked. Our midfield lost the battle immediately. And then Maguire lost his head. He conceded 2. He could even be at fault for 3 of those goals, in my opinion. And everything just fell off as soon as that red card happened. As soon as that red card happened, I think even Ollie lost his head. Everybody just seemed to lose everything that they just gained before. The only people who looked decent after that were Greenwood, Rashi, and Bruno. That was it. Everybody else lost their composure completely. Everybody else fell off a bloody cliff. Everybody else just looked pathetic. They didn't look anywhere near good enough. And I just hope to not see a performance like that again from United. Credit to
No.
Spurs for insulting the wounds and just taking advantage where they could. You know, credit to them. They
wouldn't
deserve
even
the
blame
win.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even blame Spurs. I mean, why
No.
why should we say we have the right for them to go easy on us? And like, if I was in Mourinho's position,
Never
heck,
know.
if I was Mourinho, I would have been like, "Fam, go get 10. We hit them double.
Yeah,
Digits.
go. We're gonna go break a record. Let's go.
Digits, fam.
He puts on
Fam,
Lucas
buy
Moura at
it.
halftime.
Yeah, exactly.
He was taking
It's
the
fam,
piss.
fam. If I seen Oli make Fred and McTominay, I would have looked at all my bench. I would have like every attacker, go on, violate these
Yeah.
men.
Go have a field there. Seriously, go.
In fact, I thought Mourinho was even nicer than I wouldn't have been that nice. I would have killed him.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's just we were just unprepared for the season. Remember, we were doing our match, our Premier League predictions, and we were saying every other team looks insanely ready. They made the players, they got their coach, their tactics, everyone looking so good. Whereas us, United, we don't
That
have
was
our
still in
players
September.
in. We don't have our players. We don't know what we can expect of the season from Oli. We don't know what his goals should be. We don't know. It just shows. Today was in preparation. It's just Sancho wasn't here. Cavani wasn't here. Tellers wasn't here. We don't have a centre back. We don't have a CDM. It's just a mess. And again, if I can only we'll get to Oli at the end, I guess. But before I just ramble, let's go into the player rating so we can actually talk about some certain players. Because I feel like Oli was at fault, but some players today, oh my god.
Guys, I feel like I have to interject this line quick. Villa winning 2-0 against Liverpool. Watkins just scored a screamer. Liverpool are getting bitched.
I can't even get excited over that.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's some positives, but then I can't even speak. I just got whacked 6-1 by a dead manager, fam. Dead manager.
I am in a bed. A very, very lucrative bed with them losing, so it's looking good for me.
Yeah,
that time I did have a bet, but I cashed it out. Imagine.
Could take a piss at Liverpool later tonight if it keeps up this way, guys. Don't worry.
I'm not even gonna take a piss.
Some positives. Some positives.
But yeah, player ratings. De Gea. Personally, I felt like he could have saved a few. Does this game mean De Gea should get dropped? I don't know. I'm sick of this cup, fam. I'm just sick of this cup. I don't even want to talk about whether 3 minutes to start the game. But you know what? When you're a goalkeeper and you concede a 6, fam, nah.
You can't get
De Gea's getting a 0. Can't be asked.
Yeah, no. A lot of it wasn't his fault, but like he did concede 6, as you say, and I did feel like he could have done better in some other chances. So 3.
Yeah, it's hard to give a goalkeeper a rating when he got 6 goals conceded against him. He didn't do too much wrong. Yeah, one good nutmeg, admittedly. I think he did make a good save closer to the end, though. So nothing really good. Nothing, but 6 is just You shouldn't.
Stopped it from being 7.
There's a 1, Yeah.
Just to quickly, because I'm sure the fans want this for content. I mean, the Henderson from now on.
don't think
No.
this game.
No.
Genuinely don't
I
think
don't
it
think it's
makes a
a hair
difference in this
salt.
game.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
It's
hair
good it
stuff.
didn't play.
I kind of agree. Like I wouldn't blame there too much today. It's just as a goalkeeper conceding 6. Yeah, man, that's late.
Yeah, we've seen De Gea shit though. This wasn't him shit. It's the people guarding the goal that was shit today. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
Today
Yeah.
wasn't him.
Yeah, and the heads were lost when he made his mistakes and stuff. So
Yeah.
This is too easy for Tottenham to get through. Too easy.
And I'm going to speak about the next one. I mentioned Wan-Bissaka because I'm going to mention Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, but obviously we'll start with Wan-Bissaka. It's annoying me. It's annoying. I swear. I don't know if you guys remember when we first started the season with Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. Our wing backs were here, fam. I said this on. I can't remember what show I said it was, but they were white. Now they're here. What are they doing? Is it tactics? Is it them? I think it has to be tactics because that's ridiculous. I do not understand why Wan-Bissaka is so into the box, why Luke Shaw is always in the box instead of being out wide defending the white players. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is it not maybe recovering for one of the centre backs? Because
But
we
that's the
push up so
problem.
high that either Maguire or Lindelof or Bailly is always out of position, and then he's having to tuck in now. So
Yeah, but even if it is down to that, that's still tactics, and that's where Ollie doesn't help.
It's definitely a
himself. These
tactical
things,
thing.
yeah. Ollie doesn't help himself
Definitely.
when things like that are happening. Like why? If I was Aaron Wan-Bissaka and let's just say I was in Ollie's shoes and that wasn't my tactic. For some reason, Luke Shaw and Aaron are defending. As a manager, if I was in Ollie's shoes and I seen that, I'd like I didn't tell them to do that, and then I would have tell them, what are you guys doing? Stay wide and mark the wide players. Don't let the fucking balls in the box.
I mean, the space that's left on the
Okay.
side when that happens is ridiculous.
I don't know. Even if it is cover for the centre backs, fam, allow it. Fucking mark your player. Son was free the whole day. You let a player like Son free. I don't
Bailly
know.
was ball watching
Last
second
season, if you looked at the way we played against Tottenham, I guarantee you, Son was pocketed by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Today he was just free. He wasn't marked.
Yeah.
I think Ollie is starting to believe that we have Trent and Robbo playing on both our flanks. I'm
Yeah,
really
they
starting
should've
to
missed that.
believe he thinks we have the best attacking fullbacks. We're the best defensive
weird.
fullbacks in the league. We don't have the best defensive though. They shouldn't be halfway up the pitch or in the opponent's box at any given point. It's
In
not
a way.
okay. We have the best defenders. Yeah.
Yeah. In a way, I don't want to say it's harsh on Ole, but like, I feel like we were screaming so much for the style. Just throw them, play one CDM, don't sit back. And Ole could say, well, I'm giving you that now. And that's the result of it. We don't have the defense to do that.
Yeah, I mean, only if he does still use that, it depends, my friend. He's still the manager, so sort that out. I hope I don't see that. I mean, we probably will see it. We'll probably see Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw playing as centre backs the following week, and then
Let's start Maguire. Taylor's Shaw by Wan-Bissaka.
once.
Let's see how.
That could work. I mean, everyone's giving praise of how Luke Shaw is the left centre back, but Aaron Wan-Bissaka is rating today. Fam, I'm giving him a 1 also. Fuck.
He did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. Offensively, dead. Defensively, I don't remember a tackle from him. Maybe like 1 at the beginning of the game, but yeah, he deserves
At the beginning of the game, I think he looked sharp. I think he was making good tackles, closing down the winger whenever he could, and then he just fell off a cliff again, just like every other player on the pitch. But
And it's weird though. I feel it's never been as bad as 6, but I feel like it's a theme with United. When shit hits the fan, they just lose their heads. People are just everywhere, like they don't know what's going on, and like I don't want to say mentality because Marcus will not like that word, but like it's not on.
That was
I think
but the mentality
it's
today
leadership
is
of it.
gone.
Yeah.
I think it
Like,
comes down to the leadership. I don't think Maguire goes, "Hey, just focus." I don't think he
Yeah.
does that. I think he
After
just
having a
loses
season
his
like
head
that.
along with everyone else. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's how I
we'll
put
get
it.
we'll get to Maguire. But yeah. To the next. Did you guys give him the rating even? I didn't even know. I'm just fuming.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him a 2 for this. Slightly
Yeah.
bit.
I was gonna say the next player I actually feel sorry for because he finally got his opportunity and he got paid with a £80 million fridge idiotic pagan who should fuck off back to Leicester where he came from. But Eric Bailly, fam, I felt like he was our best defender today. Honestly, I mean, Bailly wasn't really at fault at anything. The fact that the first goal where Maguire literally heads it into Bailly and then Bailly somehow manages to head it out again. And then Maguire, then he just fucks it up. And then, yeah, so I don't, Bailly, I'm going to actually be kind of, I want to see Bailly carry on. I don't want to see Maguire at all anymore. But I want to see Bailly stay and, keep that centre back option. So I'm going to give Bailly a 5. I know he conceded 6 goals, but he was left out to dead today.
Yeah, it's going to be ironic because I'm the Bailly advocate here. But I do think he was at fault for a lot of it. And it doesn't mean I want him to get dropped because it's only his first chance. Maguire's being played, so he needs to get dropped. But one, Bailly was ball watching with Son, and that was his fault. 2, the pass Bailly made, I don't know to Matic or someone.
Oh,
that was not on. So he did make a lot of mistakes as well. As much as he had really good tackles, his mistakes were dire. So I think he also deserves a 3.
Yeah, maybe I'm being too nice to Bailly.
In all honesty, I think Maguire was at fault more than anyone else in the team for the first 3 goals. As soon as 3 goals went in, I think they were all Maguire's fault more than anyone else on the pitch. Maguire, he cost us completely for the first 3 goals.
But
I think after that, it's...
Sorry to interrupt, but that goal after the red card, that was Bailly's fault.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel
without
that's
Bailly
when the
making
heads
that
are gone.
pass.
I feel that's when the heads are just gone.
It was, but without him making that ridiculous pass, we don't concede that goal.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's fair too. That's definitely a fair thing to say, but Bailly was definitely our best defender today. I don't think there's an argument about that.
Yeah.
Nobody else showed any kind of promise. Bailly tried to keep his head a lot more, and he did a lot better than any of the other players on the pitch. And it's really unfortunate that happened. But yeah, Bailly just gets like a 4 from me.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Bailly could have had the best game of his life. When you still concede 6 goals, you concede 6 goals. Yeah. Right now, on to Mr. Captain Fantastic. Huh? Mr. Slabhead himself. The 80 million pound freak. Cunt. Poos.
Spurs man of the match.
Yeah, for Spurs, definitely.
Yes, Spurs man of the match, 100%.
Spurs man of the match is 100% Harry Maguire. Good. First of all, if he does play, if he does keep his spot in the team, he better not have that armband. That's all I'm saying. That armband fully deserves to be worn by Bruno. Or even if he gave it to Pogba, I wouldn't be mad. But Bruno is the captain. Bruno is the fucking captain of this team. And Maguire, that's just a disgrace. You the captain, fam. And you did all of that. You the reason we lost 6 today. By 6, fam. We're holding 6. 6. I'm getting sent to freaking Liverpool, meme. Your Klopp is doing this. 6. Nah, fam. All because of Maguire. I'm giving Maguire... What is the lowest rating I've ever given in my life?
Non-applicable.
Oh. No, but he was applicable. For Spurs, he was a 10. For us... Fam, I've given Lingard maybe negative 1,000, so Maguire deserves at least a negative 1,000,000 today. So that's the worst defensive performance I've ever seen in my life at Sporting United.
Dude, like they headed back to David De Gea. That was the worst of the lot. What was he doing there?
He needs to be dropped. He really needs to be dropped. This can't happen anymore. And if Ollie doesn't drop him, then Ollie doesn't help himself if he doesn't drop Maguire. Or if he doesn't relinquish the captaincy.
I would have taken the armband at half time.
I would have given Bruno the armband half time, and I'd be like, get on the bench, Lindelof, go back on.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Yeah, I think I have to echo the sentiments. Minus 1 million. At his rating today. Because he was in his place. Look, in a perfect world, with our situation, and this is going to sound outrageous, but I would like to see Smalling stay. And I'd like to see, as much as we've tried this before, maybe with better fullbacks now it'll work. I'd like to see Smalling and Bailly.
Smalling and Bailly, yeah.
Yeah.
I would actually like to see Mengi, because from all the hype I've heard around Mengi, he sounds like an absolute beast of
We field him. We seriously field him at the very least.
Yeah.
That's not okay to not play him.
We need to see him, We need to see him at least.
We need to try to solve it.
You can't be worse than Maguire. And even if you are, you're 18, so it's fine.
Who cares? It's 80 million.
Yeah.
We're bloody Manchester United. Let him bench.
Yeah, live.
Yeah, it's terrible. Anyway, I'll just gonna go on a scale of 0 to 10. So I'm sorry to disappoint with another minus 1 million, but he's just gonna get a flat out 0 from me. It's terrible. It's terrible to say the least. Maguire was nothing close to a captain today. He was nothing close to 80 million defend either. But hey, it was terrible.
Again,
It was terrible.
it echoes the problem with United. If we had to, by all means, get a new centre back, and we had to sell Maguire, how much we're going to get for him? It's definitely nowhere close to 80 million. So there's a loss already. No one would probably even want Maguire at this moment. They'll probably look at his United career and be like, nah, fam, look at the wages. And this is exactly what Marcus was talking about. This is the problem with our ownership and this club in general. But yeah, I don't even know. Us fans need to do something. That's the only way. Like, if I was in England or something, I would try to definitely do something. I mean, I do what I can. I think we all try to do what we can from, yeah. I don't buy merchandise, like I said. Every United merchandise you see of me is either fake or, yeah. It's either fake or I get given my United merch from other people. Because I will never give a single one of my cents to these guys. Never in my life until things have changed. But yeah, so us fans will probably have to do something. I don't know what. Fam. Plug me down to England, let's organize something, But yeah, moving on. Left back, Luke Shaw. Goodness. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, the fact that we announced, well, we didn't officially announce him, but the news came out that we had Tellez before this game. If Luke Shaw would have probably heard about it. You're like, all right, so we got Tellez in, and you're telling me this right before we play Spurs. It'll have an effect on him. He looked professional, but again, today it was shocking. And he did the same thing with Wan-Bissaka. He comes in and plays like a fourth centre back. He's not a wing. He's not a left back. He's like a centre back, and it's just horrible. So I'm giving Luke Shaw a 0 as well.
I don't know what's going on with defense. At times where we need fullbacks, it's Maguire down there at the left. He's the one who's trying to track the PC wing. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. That's when I switched to. I was like, nah.
Dude. And sure as well. Sometimes they play a switch and like he was nowhere to be seen. So he was also a disgrace today. 2.
Yeah, Shaw did literally nothing this game. I saw nothing on this man. Besides the early minutes, just like everybody else in this team, just nothing good from them. I also get a 2 from me.
And then, on to midfield, which I actually thought from here onwards, it was fine. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was a bit fine. Maybe Paul Pogba had a very good
It was a lot better.
Yeah. But, it was a lot better. Then I'll start off with Matic, who I felt he did his part. Like I said, I don't blame anyone else besides fucking Maguire and that back line for costing us everything today. I mean, that was just a mess. And so I'm gonna I think it was just down to Matic. He, obviously came off at halftime. Who knows why the heck? I wouldn't be surprised Matic was also bollocking players because the way Matic has been speaking, he sounded like everything you want to hear from a senior player. He says, why are we getting happy from drawing? We should be challenging for titles. We need to stop dropping points like this. So I wouldn't be surprised that's the reason Bruno and Matic got subbed off. Because for me, Bruno is the captain and Matic is our vice captain. That's where the leadership is. So, and those two came off, and but Matic's performance, you simply in a game like this, especially when you're getting banned to take off Matic. He is our main defensive product. So Matic for me did nothing wrong. I'm giving Matic an average 6.
Yeah, you need to defend. Let's say it's damage limitation. You want to remove Matic. It makes no sense. And bring on McTominay. You've lost your mind.
Yeah.
You're absolutely crazy. So I didn't understand that as well. But I think for the time he did play, he looked pretty good, to be honest. But at the same time, we did lose 6-1 and he didn't play the whole game. So I'm going to give him a 5.5.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we lost 6-1. I don't think he deserves an average rating at the end of that, unfortunately. He didn't do anything wrong. He always looks like one of the best players on the pitch whenever he plays for us. Because he's a very vital part of this team, and it doesn't make sense having 2 exceptionally needed parts of this team just get subbed off at half-time. I will never understand it. Guys, I just went 4-1 to Villa, by the way. Just while I'm here. 4-1 Villa just pulling Spurs.
Better,
yeah. So anyway,
they were probably
I should give you the 5.
They're getting smashed by Villa.
Yeah. Get smashed by Villa. This is bad. Okay. But anyway, 5 from Matic. Yeah. Nothing too bad. Good. It's just,
well, going on to my favorite play of today. Yeah, my favorite. He edged my favorite player today. But Bruno Fernandes, the actual captain of Manchester United. You know what? I know we lost 6-1, but and this is gonna sound ridiculously like I love up Bruno's ass, but I'm definitely giving Bruno a 10 today. I'm giving Bruno himself did nothing wrong. If Bruno could play all 11 positions and clone himself, you would have won this game. You would have won this game. There is no one that deserves that Manchester United shirt more than Bruno Fernandes. There's no one who deserves that armband more than Bruno Fernandes. He scores the penalty. The ball he put through to Rashford, he looked like Rashford, Greenwood, and Martial looked like they were going to pick Tottenham apart today if it wasn't for our defense. And so yeah, Bruno, I feel bad for him because now it's like I remember I was watching a live stream and then someone put in a super chat saying that how long until we can keep players like Bruno, Martial, Pogba. I mean, I tweeted it out earlier today as well. I said I feel sorry for them, and then if I was them, I would leave United because nothing's going to change. They deserve to win titles. They deserve to win Champions League. They deserve to win all these awards, and they're not going to get it at United. I'm telling you now, I love United. I've supported this club my whole life, 20 years plus, going still. But this, for me, has been the lowest of lows I could ever imagine since probably that Burnley time. We did make a recovery from there, but enough's enough. Small steps back forward is not going to do it for me anymore. You need to make it long-term changes. So yeah, but Bruno for me, flawless. My man.
The club's pool can only work for so long. I mean, Liverpool got to a point where they were signing Lallana, and yes, I know Ings is doing well right now, but they were signing players you think are below them. And I can see us going down that road if we keep doing this. Who would want to come to this club that's literally a black hole, or figuratively a black hole for players? So, yeah, I hear you there. In terms of Bruno, I won't give him 10 because of the context of the game, but I do think he was our best player. I do think those first 10, 15 minutes, I saw Bruno back at his best. He scored the penalty, of course, but he also did lose his head a little bit when things started to hit the fan. I saw him lose balls here and there, but not too much. And yeah, I do think he was our best player. I'm going to give him a 6.
Yeah, I think that's very fair for Bruno. He definitely was our best player. He looked very good. I think just really unfortunate circumstances for this game. I think if it was a 1-0 win, we could be giving him that 10 for sure. But the 6-1 reverse is just it makes it very hard to give him a higher rating than the 6.
Yeah. I can't blame Bruno today. Like I would literally, like if I was the manager today, why Oli subbed him off? I swear if those rumors are true. This is exactly why people don't like Oli. That's why people are not, because how you subbed him off Bruno because he said something or he's shouting the players. Yeah, they deserve to be shouted, fam. You think Fergie subbed off Roy Keane? No. He was like, yeah, tell me. You legit my captain. I might not like you the best, but you know exactly what to do, and you're the reason we win games. Bruno is the reason we fucking win games these days. Bruno Fernandes. Whether it's just a penalty or something, he's the reason we get points on the board. So yeah, that's Bruno. And then obviously, I forgot about Paul Pogba. Yeah, Paul Pogba played whole game. For me, I love Paul Pogba. I've always said he walks into my world 11 of my dream players. He's got the potential to be anything he wants to be. But recently in the league, he's so shocking. And you know what? I wouldn't be like if I was United, obviously I would love Paul Pogba to get that new contract. But the way he's been playing recently, I would be telling Paul Pogba, it's like you need to look at yourself in the mirror, fam. You claim you're the best midfielder in the world. You claim this, you claim that, you claim you're the best. You're not showing that. You're not my best midfielder. Heck, you're not my second best midfielder. Heck, you're not my third best midfielder at the moment. You're not the best leadership. I expect more from Paul Pogba. So yeah, I'm gonna give Pogba a 2 today. And also, Oli didn't help him when he kept him on, put him left wing, made him defend, and it wasn't a great performance. So I'm giving Paul Pogba a 2.
Yeah, no, I agree. I felt like he looked bright at the start of the game. He looked like we looked like we're going to smash Spurs. That's what it looked like. But as the game went on and as it became chaotic, he also lost his head. Pogba loses a lot of balls. Like, it's a bit worrying because the amount of times he loses balls and it's a turnover, and the other club is in for goal is scary, to be honest. So he really needs to improve the side of his game. But at the end of the day, it wasn't completely his fault what happened to him. But I'm going to have to give him a 4.
I can agree with you a lot there. I think just if the game was only first like 20 minutes, Pogba gets a nice like 8, 9. He played really well. He looked like he actually started finding a bit of form. I felt like this was just the game where players were all switched on, and then luck would just so happen.
It looked
to
like
get
we
a red
could
card.
beat
My
them
head's
badly
fall off.
today.
It looked like we were going to 6-1 them.
Yeah,
and
that's
it just
what I was
turned
gonna say.
it up.
It looked like we were playing 6-1.
Yeah, it genuinely did. We started the game so well. We started so bright. We started so energetic, and it just fell like that. And then Pogba he played terribly towards the end of the game. Unfortunately, we have to look at the whole 90. Pogba did not look good. He was at fault for one of the goals at the end of the game. It just wasn't
He
good.
gave away a penalty. I think that was it.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is Pogba doing there? Well, what, 5-1 down or 4-1 down, and you do that?
Yeah.
I guess he was frustrated.
Same goes for Shaw with his yellow. The same goes for Shaw with his yellow. What are you
What are you-
doing? He's
all his
beat
reactions
you.
said
Why are
it
you
all.
trying to tackle him?
Yeah, frustration, I guess.
What? Just you go, boys. Just keep on going, boys. That's what it felt like the entire game. So like, yeah.
The clip of when Shaw did that tackle, Ollie, he was like this, and then Shaw did this, and he was like, "Oh my god, I can't." What are you doing? What are you guys doing?
Guys. But yeah, Paul he didn't do it towards the end of the game, unfortunately. He should have been. He should be our top player, should be our consistent player. So he gets a 3 for me.
I mean, yes, this is. Imagine we give him Pogba a 3. Who would have thought that this day would have come?
Yeah.
Giving full Pogba 3s, 2s, 1s, and it's been consistent now for the week. For every time in the league, I mean, yeah. Moving on, Marcus Rashford. He did hit the post when Bruno set him up for 1. We were still in the game then, but he did hit the post. But Rashford looked like, again, sharp. I think Bruno and the front three looked like we were going to 6-1 them. We looked like we were going to 6-1 them. But Maguire and them had other ideas.
So bright.
So yeah, I think to make it even quicker, I'll give Rashford a 6. I just like again, you can't blame them at all for that even. So Rashford a 6, Greenwood a 6, and yeah, well I'll leave Martial because that's a special case. So yeah, 6 for Rashford and Greenwood.
Okay, I guess I'll also just give the whole front 3. He doesn't look like he's getting back to his best.
Leave Martial out, yeah. Leave Martial out.
Okay. He does look like he's getting back to his best. I feel like he's not as one-dimensional as he was those few months after he came back from lockdown. It looks like he's getting into really good positions now, and he's very productive. So that's good to see. So yeah, for that first few minutes he looked well, but in the second half there was nothing he could do. Really. The ball wasn't getting to them. It was damage limitation rather. So 5. And oh yeah, sorry, jeez, my life. I've forgotten what I said I'm gonna do. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Greenwood looked really good as well. Like even when things were looking bad, he looked like he was the one with Bruno most up for it and getting in the right positions and taking the shots. So I was really impressed with him today. Second half as well, couldn't do much. He did try to get on the ball and maybe take on players because that was the only way we could get through because we couldn't really play much interplay because we're playing so deep. So I think he had a decent game. I'm going to give him a 5 as well.
Yeah. I very much can't disagree. I don't have any points really. I just think this was the game where people were going to turn on. This is the game where everything was going to look right.
Yeah.
And it just ended so poorly. Everybody looked so bright. Even Rashi and Green continued to the end of the game. Martial looked good at the start. The red card is... It is what it is with that. Yeah, it is what it is. But up front, our attack looked so good today. Like that's the United that we loved to watch last season. When our attacking players are clicking, you just love to watch it, and you can see that today. And I think they just get an average rating. I don't think they were at fault for anything. I think they were just trying to be the most productive players in the team, especially considering Bruno and Matic getting subbed off at halftime immediately. They were our most productive players going forward. They deserve a 6 for trying to keep us in the game, both of them.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, they would have bagged today. I'm telling you. I know they lost, obviously. They're like Spurs fans will have big heads, Mourinho fans will have big heads, but we could have hurt you today. If we just, heck, if we didn't have a defense, well, we just played without midfield and attack, we could have hurt you. Because I think with no
We
defense in
literally
the
could have
game,
played without Maguire and we've been fine.
yeah, we would have been fine. 3 at the back, we would have been fine. We would have hurt you guys, I think, definitely. But then, yeah, moving on to the controversial one also. My favorite, that I'm a big advocate for my Anthony Martial. Uh, obviously, red card. He did get the penalty. He won the penalty. It looked like he was going to definitely score. He looked very threatening. We've seen a lot from Martial in the beginnings of the game. So, yeah, Martial, he looked lively again, like with our front three. But like we said, the red card, he lost his head. And the game just fell away from us after that. So, yeah, because of that red card, if it wasn't for that red card, I think we could have got back into the game and won it. And I would have given Martial probably an 8 or 7, but because of the red card and everything, and that's when the heads just lost. And now we won't have you for 3 weeks. We won't have our main striker for 3 games, I'd say. So I'm gonna have to give Martial a 5, but he looked really good. He looked like he was gonna hurt Spurs today again. And how Lamela didn't get a red card, that's a topic for another day. That is disgraceful. Anthony Taylor, get in the bin. VR, get in the bin. Premier League officials, get in the bin. Mourinho complains about us choosing decisions. That was the best decision of the whole game. That was just, I'm fuming about that. But yeah, it is what it is.
Right? It just makes no sense. I mean, they reviewed it, VAR. He at least needed to get a yellow card. He did. So that makes no sense.
But they reviewed it for a whole 5 seconds. Stupid.
Yeah.
When VAR does things like that, it bothers me a lot. Because
so
it's meant to make things it's meant to make things more consistent. If anything, it's made the game worse and more inconsistent. It's games like this that make VAR go, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you implemented? You're not working. What is wrong with you? There should have been 2 red cards this game. If you're VARing that, you're VARing both incidents. It's as simple as that. You're not looking at one thing alone, and then because that's a waste of the technology. Why do you spend millions putting it into every stadium in the Premier League just for it to be looked at once or twice at only a single action at a time? Because they definitely don't have the computing power for more than one action at a time. Man. I'm sorry.
It's ridiculous. And I'm going to say, do we lose 6-1 if Lamela's not on the pitch? If they also have 10 men? You don't know. So
they play to them. They play to Spurs if they pull off that result still. But we didn't deserve to just be 11 versus 10 the entire game.
Yeah,
it should have been a 10v10 and should have pushed forward, which would look like we were doing.
Martial definitely deserved the red card, to be honest, though. And it was reckless. Yes, I guess he was getting emotional, but it was reckless. And going forward, he wasn't. Okay, yeah, I know he was involved here and there, but I don't think he was involved with Bruno, Rashford, and Greenwood. I don't think he had as good of a 15 minutes, if you like. So I think he deserves a 3 today, to be honest. I think it was poor.
Yeah, I think if we're taking away the red card, then I would give him the 6 for sure. I think he actually looked like he was going to be at his best again today. It looked like he was getting into this game. It was like the game Martial was going to bag again. We're going to have our striker back. That's just what it felt like. He was getting involved a lot more. He looked dangerous today. He hadn't looked that for the whole season so far. I think we could have seen a much different result if Martial doesn't get sent off, which unfortunately did happen, so can't really change the past.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, and then obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the manager of Manchester United. I'm giving him a 0. I'll be honest with you. I don't necessarily think everything was his fault, but as a manager, you got to ask questions. And those substitutions that's what killed it to me. I would have watched the rest of the game because I always watch this. In fact, I kind of did, but it was more like I just didn't care. It was there. I was just listening to the news or whatever, checking for updates. But yeah, those substitutions says it all. Again, it just looked like we lost 6-1 today. We didn't see Ole shout once. I can't remember Ole shouting once. Or trying to change something.
I saw him shout at the ref, not at his players.
Yeah, but never at his players. Did he really change anything tactically? No, and if he did, it was those substitutions. So yeah, I'm giving Ole a 0 today. As a manager, you gotta hold your team's performance. I think you should have told them to calm down, don't lose your head. What are you doing? You picked Maguire at the end of the day, so yeah.
I know. I don't think Ole should get sacked or anything like that, but I think he definitely deserves a 0. 1, we lost 6-1. 2, why is Maguire always playing? Why is he always playing? So that's Ole's fault, and he cost us. So it's indirectly Ole's fault. 3, those substitutions were just ridiculous. So I think he also had a bad day at the office today. He deserves a 0.
Yeah, Ali had a very, very poor showing. But I think at first when we went 2-1 down, I don't think any of that was on Ali. I don't think that was really a reflection on him. I think that was just Maguire being so shit. You can make the argument it was him picking Maguire to start. You can make the argument for that. I don't see it this game. I'm not exactly an Ali advocate. I don't rate him that much myself.
I don't
But
think
just
any
think
of us really
up until that point, yeah, definitely not. But up until that point, I don't think Ali did anything wrong. I think we really looked good. And I don't know if it was his tactics, if it was a motivational speech, whatever the hell he did, players looked good for the day. But as soon as that red card happened, his head fell as well. It wasn't just the players, it was his as well. And that can't happen as a manager. He lost his head completely, and if there was backroom shouting between Matic, Bruno, and him and whatnot, then what the hell are you doing coaching the biggest club in world football if you're not prepared to battle egos?
Yeah.
These players want to win games. They don't want to go in at half time 3-0, 3-4 down. It's
yeah. Do you think Bruno Matic wanted to lose 6-1 today? No way.
Yeah, never.
They're probably telling Bruno to keep quiet today. Don't say anything on social media. Don't post anything. No one post anything because I couldn't imagine what Bruno. I'm penny for Bruno's thoughts.
I hope Bruno smacked Maguire. Bloody hell.
I really hope so. I mean, I think everyone said that on the Sky panel. He said that certain players and people above the manager need some smacks. He said that. So.
Yeah, as soon as his head fell, Ali he had no clue what the whole coaching was anymore. I genuinely felt that either one of us could have performed much better under that pressure at that point in time. That's how poor he was. He was terrible after his head fall. Those subs said it all. Those subs very much said it all. They said, we don't actually care. We're not going to win this. This isn't even damage limitation because you took off your best defender and you took off the club captain, basically. The on-field captain is Bruno. He's the most vocal person on that pitch. He's telling people to calm down. He's telling people to move. He's telling people to go on. And you just take him off and you take off our best defender that's right behind him. It's madness seeing that. Any other manager either just completely parks the bus or he full sends it. We saw neither of that today. And that isn't good enough from Ali. That really isn't good enough. We barely attacked. We barely defended. We just sat there and took it. That's all that happened.
Yeah, definitely.
It wasn't good.
A lot of interesting points. And then also, what I want to ask you guys is that, would you? I know, obviously, we will. Everyone, this places out. Focus places out. I'm just saying this for content. I want to see any Ole out bullshit yet. Okay? Don't start. We all need to be on the same page today. And we're all angry, all right? Allow it today. Allow it. Just allow the anger, allow all the things. Yes, I understand. But I was going to say, would you guys fire Oli, get another manager? Would you want to repeat the whole cycle?
Look, as much as there's positives to doing that, it's a bit pointless, really. Because it doesn't help anything in the bigger picture. It's pointless. I mean, Potter's going to have the same issue. So might as well just stick with this manager and focus on the bigger problem.
Fully agree. Just fully agree. We stick with Oli and we see what happens. If this form is shown week in, week out against every weak opponent, I'm sorry, but then we have to question him. But for now, I think this is more on everything else around him. I think this is also a lot on the players. Yeah. But the board's always this overarching issue. It's just always right there, just overshadowing every issue, and it needs to be something.
And the problem is
top to,
Sorry. The problem is we'll never be able to unite. We'll never be a situation where we say, okay, all is the problem, we're all uniting against you guys. And maybe if we could do that, our frustrations would actually make a difference. But the problem is we can't do that. So when it gets to a point where we're losing every single game and we can't unite, maybe a change of manager does need to happen because at least there'll be some kind of reaction. But as we stand right now, I'm all for Glazers out and Kakol.
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time all United fans were on the same page? I can't remember. So, and if we all want to be on the same page, I tell you what, it's the Glazers out movement. The Glazers out, Woodward, Matt Judge, all of them. Matt Judge, if anyone doesn't know, because he's not as popular as Ed Woodward, the Glazers. He is our chief transfer negotiator. People like Patrice Evra
one of
and
those?
other. We don't even know if we have others. But he's our chief transfer negotiator, and his phone is off when agents are trying to phone him to try to deals. I mean, that says it all. Our top priority transfer guy, his phone is off. His job, he's not working. And he's probably a millionaire. He's probably a millionaire.
But the title itself is so corporate. Like, in that position, you'd be expecting football director, someone who's involved in football, chief transfer negotiator. It just says everything of the club. Maybe other clubs have it, and I'm just talking bullshit. But I feel like it just says everything of the club.
Yeah, and then also, to end it off, I was going to say, of just where you guys are at, because I'll tell you what, right? I want to go lift up because I remember at the start of my United journey, this was a young lad, just watching Sir Alex, watch Ronaldo. Ronaldo was probably the main reason I became a United supporter. Then obviously I fell in love with the history, and I just never looked back. But all I'm going to say, where I am at the moment is, I would like to thank this guy. That's for sure. That's number one. I'd like to thank Alex Ferguson, David Gill, and then all the United legends that gave me joy in my life. I didn't realize how much I'd appreciate it until it was taken away from me. I never ever thought I'd feel like this ever as a United fan. You told me this when I was a kid. I'd have laughed at your face and be like, why are you lying? My team would smack you 6-1. Ronaldo with a hat trick or something. Now I'm there, like, I'm getting smacked 6-1.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'd like to say thank you to them for making my childhood happy. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know when I'm ever gonna put that United flag up. I left it. I threw it on the floor. I'm gonna leave it on the floor. It doesn't deserve to get back up. They have to earn it back. I'm not saying that I'm done with United, but I definitely think that for the sake of that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I need like a detox because I'm not kidding. When I watch Leeds and I watch Everton, I'm like, look at that. Look at those teams there.
Yeah.
And I don't expect them to win the league title. So it's gonna be my side chick for now. Leeds and Everton, you are my side chick. United, I just need a break. Obviously, I'll be doing the shows, and where I'm at with United at the moment, I don't know. You can deliver Sancho tomorrow, and I'm not going to be guessed, fam. I won't be guessed. So, where are you guys with United at the moment?
Nah, it's depressing, really. How many years, year in, year out, the same thing. And, like, you get tired of it. You start asking yourself, what's the point of this? And we stick by it because we love the club, but it is hard, and it is hard for your health. I mean, when you lose a United game, the rest of the week is ruined. If you're really attached to this club, the rest of the week is ruined. Everything you do is like, oh, United. So
Exactly. I had a headache today, fam. Before the game even started.
So yeah, no, it looks very dark right now because you just don't see the end of the tunnel. Don't know where we're going.
Definitely. It's just such a rough time, and just as a general football fan, it's always good to have teams you can rely on and just watch and sit back and enjoy. Teams like the Leeds and the Evertons right now that are just looking really good and just showing up week in, week out, showing what football is, showing that passion that we all love to see. Things like that, I think, are very necessary to keep us going, because if we just revolve around one club that's just burying us week in, week out, it's very tough. Obviously, we'll still love this club with all our heart and everything that we can do with it. And it's just we need that bit of moral support of what we should be aiming for. And when you see clubs like that play such beautiful football, become so passionate, be so driven, it's hard to look back at our club enviously and just be like, yeah, this is my club. I love this club no matter what. But we know in our hearts that's it anyway. Yeah.
This is not our fault. We were brought up with endless success. We have seen well, I haven't seen a treble personally, but our club has seen a treble. We have seen Champions League.
It's too young for
we have
that.
we have seen Premier Leagues, we have seen Champions Leagues, we've seen FA Cups, we've seen prime Ronaldo, we've seen our boys go on to become best footballers in the world. We've seen many legends. We have the best manager of all time ever in the world. Once in a lifetime. Proper once in a lifetime. Not even a cheese once in a lifetime. Once in a fucking lifetime manager we have had. And so it's not our fault that our expectations of our club, that people would say, you know what, it's just a sport, why you guys get so gassed about it, you know, it's just a team. It's not that serious in life. But it is. I mean, we've spent almost 2 hours recording on this show. This show is our longest show ever. 2 hours on the show because of what we feel about our club. And you know, it might only get 18 views. It might even get less because it's 2 hours. So people are like, oh, who's got time for that? But you know, we still put it out there of how we feel. So you know, I urge everyone.
If
If you
anybody's
somehow,
made it this far, just lots of love. Lots of
lots
love.
of love, lots of love. Yeah, if you made it this far, and if you watch this, because you know, I'll probably title it something like, I don't know, like the United movie or something. You know, the RDA movie, the beginning of the end. Who knows? I'm pretty sure I've used that title.
Beginning.
Scary.
And
Yeah, beginning
It's
of the
suitable.
end.
fantastic title.
Too so small.
Yeah, probably the beginning of the end. So, but hopefully it's not. Hopefully we bounce back. You know, ideally, what needs to happen, if you want to end it on a positive note, if you want my opinion how we fix it, obviously we can't get the owners out. So, baby steps would have to be paving over the cracks again. Get Jadon Sancho tomorrow. Alex Tellers will be here. We won't have Martial, so that means Cavani will probably have to instantly play as soon as he comes in the bloody team. And then, you know,
Hopefully he
now
shows his
I'm
worth.
stressing myself out. Because all of a sudden, if Cavani plays well, they're going to be like, oh, we don't need Martial. And I'm going to, if I switch you know what? I'm ready before I depress myself even more. So, you know what? If you made it this far in the video, please do smash the like button. I'm pretty sure if you have made it yet, you already liked. Subscribe if you knew you made it this far. You're an absolute legend. And then, yeah, I don't even know when we'll check you next. Clayton and I will obviously check you on Friday. I don't know when else we'll check you because there is international break, but content will be flying through. Hopefully, a Sancho video will be next. So yeah, check you in the next one.